Friends, today on this Harvest Sunday, I wish to reflect on a well-known parable of Jesus, but I'm hoping that we might see it with new eyes today. The Synoptic Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, make it clear that Jesus' primary method of teaching was to tell stories, which we call parables. He would tell a parable, normally it would seem, without any explanation. The parable or the story would be left like a seed to be buried in the mind of the listener, and there the opportunity was given for that seed to grow as the listener chewed on the story, like a cow chewing on the cud. And so the story would gradually grow and unfold, and new insights would emerge for the listener. And so one can expect that different people might have received different insights from the parables of Jesus, because each listener was given space to listen to the parable from within their own unique life circumstances. And so a parable by its nature is a story that is potentially open to many different interpretations and perspectives. Today, I invite us to listen to this parable with fresh eyes, fresh ears. And we begin by hearing the parable itself from Mark chapter 4, the parable of the sower. Listen, said Jesus, a sower went out to sow, and as the seed was sowed, some fell on the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Other seed fell on rocky ground, where it did not have much soil, and it sprang up quickly, since it had no depth of soil. And when the sun rose, it was scorched, and since it had no root, it withered away. Other seed fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and yielded no grain. Other seed fell into good soil, and brought forth grain, growing up and increasing and yielding 30 and 60 and 100-fold. And Jesus said, anyone with ears to hear, listen. So we come to listen today. Listen with new ears. Harvest is a time when we come together to celebrate the gifts of the earth and to reflect on the work, both seen and unseen, that brings forth the abundance that we enjoy. This parable from Mark's Gospel speaks to us today not just as an agricultural metaphor, but as a profound reminder of the interconnectedness between the seeds we plant and the ground we prepare within ourselves, our communities, and the world. The sower in the story might be seen as each one of us, casting out seeds of kindness, of hope, faithfulness, justice, and love. The seeds we plant are our actions, our words, and our intentions, the countless ways we contribute to the larger garden of life. But the parable also invites us to ask, what kind of soil are we cultivating? Some seeds fall on the path, quickly snatched up by birds. And these are moments when our efforts seem fruitless, lost to the winds of circumstance, or perhaps crushed by the pace of a busy world that doesn't take time to nurture what really matters. It reminds us that not every seed takes root immediately. Sometimes the conditions are beyond our control, and it's okay to acknowledge the disappointments along the way. Then there's the rocky ground, where seeds sprout up quickly, but they wither without deep roots. And these can symbolize those times when we act without reflection, or when our efforts, though full of enthusiasm, lack the depth and staying power needed for lasting impact. In these moments, we are called to ask ourselves, are we nurturing our inner life, our core values, so that we can be resilient when challenges arise? And what about the seeds that fall among the thorns, where external pressures, negativity, or fear choke out the growth before it even begins? This is a powerful reminder that the forces of doubt and division can prevent the flourishing of good intentions, doubts within ourselves, divisions different parts of ourselves competing against each other. And our task is to create spaces in our lives and in our communities where thorns of doubt, misunderstanding, and mistrust can be cleared away, making room for growth. And finally, we come to the good soil, the fertile ground where seeds take root, they grow and multiply, yielding an abundance. And this is where hope resides, where we see the fruits of our labor, not just in the literal harvest, but in the deep satisfaction of knowing that something we have nurtured has come to fruition. But here's the catch. Good soil doesn't just happen by itself. It requires preparation, care, and attention. It requires a commitment to tending the garden of our lives, of our communities, and indeed our world with patience and diligence. In this season of harvest, we are reminded that we are all gardeners, both of the earth and of the human spirit. The seeds we cast out may not all flourish, but the soil we prepare through acts of compassion, of openness, kindness, and love can make all the difference. Just as the sower in the parable continues to sow without knowing where each seed will land, so too we must continue to nurture our relationships, to tend our inner lives, and engage in the world of justice, faithfulness, and peace, trusting that some of those seeds will indeed find fertile ground. Harvest is not just a time of reaping what we have sown. It is a time to recognize the ongoing cycle of planting, of nurturing, and growth that sustains us all. May we be mindful of the seeds we are planting in the world around us. What kind of seeds are we putting out? Are they seeds of love, seeds of kindness? And let us tend to the soil of our own hearts, making space for the flourishing within us of all that is good and all that is true. And so may this be a harvest not only of the earth's abundance, which we celebrate, but also of the abundance of the Spirit. May we celebrate both the fruits of our labor and the potential for new growth yet to come. Amen. And I close with a blessing. May the Spirit of life and love fill our hearts as we go from this place. Just as the fields are plowed and the seeds scattered, may we sow compassion, nurturing kindness wherever we walk. May the harvest we gather be one of peace, faithfulness, and understanding. And may the abundance of the earth remind us of our shared responsibility to care for one another and all creation. And so go in the spirit of love and gratitude, carrying the seeds of love into the world. Amen.